Welcome back. The Congress of South African Trade Unions, Cosatu, has expressed anger at the new Tax Laws Amendment Act. President Jacob Zuma has now officially signed all the tax legislation from 2015 into law. The new laws will result in all retirement reforms that, amongst others, limit the amount retiring workers can withdraw. The law kicks in on the 1st of March this year.
In effect, the new rules will limit retiring workers from withdrawing upon retirement only a third of their contributions, while the rest would be locked into investments. Trade unions, having scuppered earlier attempts to pass the amendments in Parliament, are among the most vocal opponents of government efforts to lock more workers into long-term retirement savings. Cosatu, an alliance partner of the governing ANC, says President Zuma's move will complicate its support in the local government elections due later this year.
Sizwe Pamla is the spokesperson of Cosatu, who joins us now on the line. Good evening, Sizwe. Now, Cosatu is openly opposed to the new law. Take us through your reasons for this.
Well, as the Federation, we are clear that we cannot allow a situation where workers, they work so hard and then that deferred are then handed over to government to decide as to how workers should spend that portion of their salary. Because what people forget is that pension is workers' money. It is not government money. It is not an employer's money. It is the money that workers have earned over the duration of their employment. And then that money belongs to them. They have a right to decide when do they want to have access to it and what do they want to spend it on. So we just feel that government is appropriating too much power to itself this time around.
Now, was the public, particularly the workers, not consulted on this, or was the consultation perhaps not enough in your view?
Well, actually, this has been a long process. What happened was 10 years ago, we agreed that we needed to reform social security, including to reform retirement pensions and retirement insurance. But what has since happened is that the paper that was promised to us, when I mean us, I mean labor and big business by government, that paper was supposed to be drafted by several departments, including Treasury and the Department of Social Services. And that paper should have been tabled at NETLEC, which is the structure where all of these components engage on matters of this nature. That paper, we've been waiting for it for the last 10 years. So we have engaged with government about this issue of pension reform at NETLEC, but we did not find each other. So instead of government presenting the paper and allowing the process at NETLEC to continue, Treasury withdrew from the negotiation. They went behind the backs of the other partners and they decided that they were going to push that government pass this law that was passed in 2018. And then now the president has signed it and they will be implementing it.
Now, Sizwe, the Central Executive Committee meeting of the Federation takes place next month. I assume this issue will be raised in the CEC, but for now, where to from here?
Well, this issue actually was raised before the 12th National Congress of Cosatu last year, and the Congress pronounced itself on this matter. They were clear, the workers, that they are opposed to this. They said the president should not sign it, and that in an event the president does decide to sign it, workers will go on an offensive. They will roll out a campaign. So what we have since done now is that after the 8th of this month, when the president decided to sign, we have since taken a decision to say we are going to update all of our affiliates about that, to inform them that this is what has happened. And seeing that the Central Executive Committee is 3 weeks away, we will then prepare a report that will be tabled to the affiliates so that they can give us guidance as to how we should roll out that campaign and what kind of a campaign it should take, what nature, as and when we do roll it out and push back against this offensive.
Sizwe, just finally, Cosatu has openly said that President Zuma's move will complicate its support in the local government elections. How do you see this playing out in that regard?
Well, Well, what we mean by that is that if you are a worker and then you wake up after the Central Executive Committee of Cosatu, and then Cosatu says, we are rolling out a campaign, a Cosatu campaign against the implementation of this tax legislation. And then at the same time, there is an African National Congress that says we want your support when it comes to campaigning for the local government election. That worker will have to decide what comes first. If that worker is holding a T-shirt, that worker will have to decide whether he writes a slogan in a T-shirt that says down with the tax legislation or that says forward with the overwhelming victory of the ANC. So what we'll be saying is that what the ANC government has done is that it has put workers in a very difficult position, because workers now will have to look at what is it that comes first. Either it's the victory of the ANC or it's the deferred salaries that belongs to their families and themselves.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Sizwe. That was Sizwe Pamla, the spokesperson of the Congress of South African Trade Unions, Cosatu, joining us on the line.